unstructured requires intelligence. And you were talking about how something as seemingly simple as an invoice process might really be 70 different sub processes, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about unstructured processes and processes that are driven by unstructured data is that interpretation is not always the same depending on who looks at that piece of paper. And I think that's a really good point that you made, and I just wanted to highlight that for the audience.
And I've seen that in manufacturing as well, right? So if we had recipes for like, well, just paint, and the recipe said, mix to a yogurt-like consistence.
Okay.
But the guy that did it, he knew what was meant with it, so he didn't really look at the recipe. But then there's loads of types of yogurt, right? So is it thick? Is it thin? Is it does it have flakes in it? Whatever.
Yeah.
So when that process got transferred to a different site, the consistency of the paint wasn't cool anymore. It wasn't good anymore.
Yeah.
And even in like those kind of manufacturing processes, there's so much knowledge in people's heads that you really have to be very careful before you say, okay, this is how we do stuff around here.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the places where I think the automation vendors have gone wrong in the last few years, is like promising folks straight through processing for complicated documents. And invoices actually tend to be pretty complicated in that, like, you don't actually want that to be straight through. There are important pieces of data on there that a human should have eyes on. Otherwise, you end up with paint that's the wrong consistency.
I mean, if everything is fine, then you'd have a perfect RPA process, but you need to fix what's coming in, and of course it's not really their business of the vendors. Kind of is, but it's if you have a really nice process, then you can do stuff with RPA that's like magical, but you need to fix the process as well, and you need to invest, and that's quite a costly process.
It is.
And if you don't do that, then don't expect miracles of the RPA folks. That's my kind of takeaway.
It's technology, not magic, right?